What's up guys, Brett here from brettdev.com, coming at you once again from Chiang Mai in Thailand. And I had a question asked on the channel the other day, Brett, what motorbike do you ride? And I thought this would be a funny video because I've only ever ridden mopeds and scooters, as people call them, in Chiang Mai. So today I went and rented a big manual bike, so I'm going to learn how to ride a manual, and I thought it would be quite a funny experience, so I'm going to film it and you guys can have a laugh at my expense. So this is the Scooby that I've bought. It's a Honda Scooby, and they are really good bikes, really easy, simple to ride. I think I paid about 20,000 baht for this one, and this is what I've rented today. So this is called a Keeway. Apparently it's kind of like a shit knockoff version of a Harley Davidson, and it's a manual, which I have never ridden before, so let's give it a go. Luckily I've got my neighbour, my friend Mehdi, who's going to help me and show me how to do it.
Oh, that's all. You're telling me like it's really hard to like get into neutral and stuff? Exactly the same. So once you put the gears, yeah. And then now you got, you can get up to like first gear, you get a feel for it.
Easy, done what all the fuss is about. So it's a week later and the Keeway Superlight is gone. I called it a key light earlier. It's a week later, the Keeway Superlight is gone. I really just was not a fan of that bike. I got it because it looked really cool, and I know it was like a knockoff Harley, but I just wanted to really learn how to ride a manual bike. So I took to it pretty well, and within a day I could ride it around the city fine, but it was just like way too big for the city, and it was really slow as well. So it was a 200, it was a manual and it was a 200, but the bike's so heavy. When I got it onto like the highway or when I was pulling away from a light, like it was just super slow. Like my moped, the Honda Scoopy, was like way faster, and I just, yeah, just wasn't a fan really. Instead, I've got this Honda Exciter. So I rent these bikes, so it's pretty easy to just switch them up and get a different one if you don't like it, which I'd recommend you do when you first get a bike in Chiang Mai or Thailand, because if you don't like it, you don't want to go buying a bike. Like, it's a good job I could rent that Keeway, because had I've gone and bought it, now I'd be trying to sell it, which is just be a complete pain. So renting it was pretty easy. So the bike shops and people that rent bikes, you can they have a whole variety, so you can just rent them, try them, and go with the one that you like. This Yamaha Exciter is 150. It is a manual, so I kind of liked the manual aspect of the Keeway, and this is rapid. So if you want a fast manual bike, it's the same shape as like a moped. Well, it is a moped, but it's just manual, right? It's not a twist and go. this is a really cool bike to get. It's a Yamaha Exciter 150 and it properly goes real fast. I get a ton of questions from you guys in the comments about motorbikes and asking, should you get one when you come to Thailand, and various questions. I did an interview with a lady called Chloe on my channel, which you can click the link above to take a look. We spoke about bikes, licenses and stuff like that in that video. So that's kind of more an in-depth video on bikes right there, and renting them especially. Chloe is who I rented the Keeway off, and also who I've rented this Yamaha Exciter off as well. One of the big questions and one of the big topics like that people ask me, and it's in the news right now, is, are motorbikes actually safe to ride? My opinion on this is, well, it's kind of it's a double-edged sword, because absolutely, if you're in Thailand and you're riding a bike, it is not safe. Like, Thailand has the highest fatality rate for the roads in the world. So this is the most dangerous place to ride a motorbike. Saying that, a lot of the deaths on the roads I don't really feel are caused by motorbikes. A lot of them are caused by like people just driving bad in pickup trucks and stuff like that. Why is there such terrible driving in Thailand, you may be asking? There are a whole bunch of reasons, which I don't know if I'm going to get into in this video, but just briefly, alcohol, not being strong enough penalties for driving under the influence of alcohol. There's a whole bunch of stuff which contributes to bad, no criteria really to get a driving license. Like, pretty much you can get it in a day. And again, you don't even need to know how to drive to get a license. There's a whole bunch of stuff that contributes to the reason Thailand has the worst fatality rate for motorbikes. No, just for road fatalities in general. Should you get a bike? It's really down to you. I personally feel like living inside of the city of Chiang Mai, the traffic moves at kind of a slow pace. So as long as you have your helmet on, if you do fall off, the likelihood of you getting any real serious injuries is kind of slim. I know quite a few people that have fallen off their bikes or been knocked off their bikes, and they just get like banged up or something, maybe like a cut or a scratch or something like that. But I don't know anyone personally who have died falling off of a bike. I have seen people dead from falling off of bikes twice, but both times the people had no helmets on, and it was late, so like 3, 4 in the morning. So obviously I didn't see them fall, but I've come along whilst they've been kind of sorting out the whole scene, and a lot of both of them were young, so I would assume it was alcohol related. And yeah, so really riding bikes in Thailand is dangerous. For me, like I say, in the city the traffic moves slow. I feel like it's a risk worth taking, because if I didn't have a bike, getting around would be really difficult, and everything would take 3, 4 times as long. You could get a car, but again, the traffic is quite bad in Chiang Mai, which is why it makes it a little bit safer for bikes, because everything moves so slowly. If you're on a bike, you can just dip in and out around the traffic. So having a car would be impractical as well. At that point, I would rather just get Ubers and stuff like that. So if you come into Thailand and you're concerned, should I get a bike or not? You don't have to. It's worth just weighing it up. Like, how much do you go around the city? Do you need to get different places? You always do have the option of Ubers. You do have the option of tuk-tuks. It all depends on you. So if you go different places every day, it's going to be way cheaper to get a bike. If you hardly leave one area, then it's going to be cheaper to get Ubers. But I would suggest getting one. And if you are going to get one, just be really, really alert at all times when you're on the bike. Like, don't drive the bike when you're drunk. Don't drive the bike when you're hungover or impaired in any way, or if you've been taking any medicine or something like that. And yeah, just be really alert. Always wear your helmet, and don't drive crazy. You know, a lot of the times as well, Thailand has this really big culture for big bikes and really fast motorbikes, and people just are reckless, basically, especially Thai people. Thai people are really reckless on the motorbikes, and that probably contributes to a lot of the deaths as well. So there's no real licensing in place, there's no training on how to ride big bikes. People just get them and just go crazy on them, and that's kind of what happens. So provided I mean, I've been riding a bike for well over 2 years in Chiang Mai, and I've never had an accident, never really even come close to having an accident. because I don't go fast and I'm always aware of my surroundings and what's going on. And the only time I've ever thought, wow, could have been potential there, would maybe be, for example, like crashing into the back of a car, and that's purely my fault, just losing concentration whilst riding, or maybe looking at something whilst riding. So provided you keep your concentration at all times when you're on a bike, you're pretty safe inside the city. I mean, I wouldn't want to go, I can't really comment on going out on the highways and the motorways where you're doing really high speeds. Now, I think that is a lot more dangerous than inside the city, because like I say, you get pickup trucks and cars that just gun it really fast over the speed limit, and all it takes is for one of those to swerve slightly and knock you off your bike and you're dead, basically. So it recently happened here, well, not recently, but about a year ago it happened here, where a policeman was actually parked at a red light at night and on just off the superhighway, and a pickup truck come up behind him. Guy's drunk, driving the truck, didn't see the red light and just drove straight through him at like 90, 100 kilometers per hour, and he's just obviously dead instantly, and their lives are ruined, killing the policeman as well. So should you get a bike if you come to Chiang Mai, Thailand? It's really up to you guys. I mean, tell me what you think, comment below, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It's undeniable that it's the most dangerous place in the world, but is it worth the risk? I don't know. I've been fined for a couple of years, like I say, but I just take it easy and be careful. Until next time, guys, don't forget to subscribe, and this is Brett from brettdev.com, and we're out. Peace.